Welcome to the HalfTime Heroes with the latest sports news from around the peninsula with Adam Kelly, Peter Sasovich, Luke Harris and Neil Craig. Take it away, Adam.
G'day sports fans and welcome to another episode of the HalfTime Heroes. What a huge week it's been in the MPFNL in both divisions 2 and 1. I say 2 first because let's dive, well, we're not going to dive into it yet. I've personally had a fantastic week. Hello to you, Commish.
Lovely week. Good on you. What did you get up to this week, Adam? We'll go with you first.
This week, what did I do this week? I can't remember really.
Right, but it was fantastic.
No, so actually, no. I bought. We were lucky enough to do a few things with the Tookarook Senior Citizens Club.
Right.
So
Right.
I actually went out.
Wheelchair races or something?
Yeah, no, something of the sorts. We went to Garden World and took them to Garden World.
Was Neil there?
And then we went off to Frankston RSL.
What do you feel like it's today?
Fine establishment, the Frankston RSL.
Nice.
I must admit.
Very good setup.
Yes,
there.
what about...
Great man cave there, isn't it?
Yes.
It's one big man. Frankston RSL's ace.
It is. It's very impressive.
Very nice.
Commish, what about you, please?
Up in the bush doing this little job and then back again. Played golf yesterday. Okay, 35 points.
Hey.
It was okay.
That's all right.
Could have been 40.
35.
Should have won the fucking thing.
Eddie 75-foot putts off the green. Nearly
No. Putter's gone a bit cold, Luke.
Bullshit.
No, it's gone cold.
Wow.
Did down at Rosebud?
Down at Rosebud?
Down at Rosebud. You like Rosebud, don't you?
I don't mind
You remember there now? No?
Yeah, been a member there for a while.
Really?
Bought 2 new putters about 12 months ago, Luke. Put them in the garage. $300 each. Both gone. Kyle's got
Kyle
one.
Lee, of course.
Shit.
Well done, boys.
So I'm left with the old, I can think about 40 years
The
old.
old Billy Baru.
and I'm not getting those putters back.
Oh, Billy,
I'll tell you,
Billy,
I'm
Billy.
not
The Wilson
getting them back.
Blade.
Yep.
The Wilson
Oh,
Blade.
Billy.
Hello to you, Spook.
Hello, Adam. How are you, mate?
Very well. Your week, please.
Good week for Luke.
Good week. Real shit
Good
day
Saturday
yesterday.
afternoon.
Shit
Poxy
day.
old day yesterday. But
we'll get into
yes, it was okay. But last night, solid night last night, and I've had a great morning with the lovely partner. And now here with you, awesome gentlemen.
You would have been puckering last night.
Yeah,
with
the
Dons.
old bald bleached sphincter was getting really tight last night. I tell you, if Richmond had beaten us last night and we got rolled yesterday and Devon won by 10 goals, I was not coming into that, let me tell you. I was dipping out again.
Hello to you, Sus.
How we going? Had a great week.
Very good.
Fantastic. We saw the Pies narrowly miss out on a win over Frankston. That was good.
Give the ball back to the right bloke.
Yeah.
If that happened in a grand final,
bullshit.
would there be bloody flares and bloody spot fires and
You know what?
bins turned upside
Players
down?
are just going to drop the ball now. They're just going to, out of the
Leave it.
contest.
They're not going to pick it up from
No, exactly. They're just going to drop the ball now and end of story.
But that'd be just as bad, wouldn't it?
Personally-
if the umpire said, I need the ball and you drop it.
Yeah.
The respect-
Well, no, not. I mean, you're not going to go and then hand it and then drop it as they go to grab
the clock
it.
wasn't
But
even
out of
running.
the contest, no. And there's bullshit about the time wasting, mate. You're allowing your oppo to set up outside of the ball as well. So it's got
They're
nothing
a bad
to-
example for our umpires, Luke, aren't they?
Oh, they're going
Or
good
you're
at the
gonna
moment.
have a
They're
rip-
rippers.
they're
Yeah, they're
gonna
going real
rip-
good.
that's soapbox, isn't it?
Yeah, soapbox.
Soapbox.
I actually thought it was a fair call, to be honest. I don't know what
You
to call
would
it.
because you're a prick.
Most non-Collingwood people thought it was okay.
Yeah, no. Well, I must say the
soapbox.
round 10, the Tibetan cockfighting. How was that?
Well, there wasn't
You
any
are
fighting.
back.
There wasn't any fighting on last week. I don't know what you
So
flogs
it's
were
just
talking about. I was just actually woke up quite sick.
Was it the best card of the year?
No, I didn't watch any fights. I was just ill. I said, boys, sorry, I'm a bit
So
sick.
it's
I didn't
just
want
a
to come in here and make you
It's
sick.
just a betting cock.
Just woke up and I had too many cocks around me. I was back to sleep.
Oh, I
When
love
Spook
that.
goes missing, there's probably cock involved. Is that what we're
well,
saying?
it's pretty much exactly what we're
Yeah,
saying.
nice.
Thank you.
No
Thank
worries,
you very
boys.
much.
Thanks for the pot last week.
So, look, I just wanted to
very
quickly say, too, that we've had the show is growing quite rapidly. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah,
we
geez.
do have...
There's 3 listeners now.
A couple.
Yeah, you listen to it twice.
Triple
No,
down.
5. You
That's
listen
in the drive to Euroa.
You listen thrice.
Laugh and carry on. God almighty.
If you do want to jump on board the HalfTime Heroes, you can go to halftimeheroes.mpfnl.at. Sorry, not dot. So let me say it again. halftimeheroes.mpfnl@gmail.com.
Hey.
Hit us up on Facebook. If you want to get involved, please get involved. Because the show is growing, you don't want to miss out. And we've got big things. I know I'm jumping the gun, but we're already talking about 2025. We're already talking about a mid-year review, Spook, which is very, very, very exciting.
And predictions.
Predictions. Well, the Commish has been predicting, top 5 for Div 2 for the last how many weeks now? Or
Well, that's bullshit.
No.
That, innit,
Stole my thunder.
that is
but
just bullshit.
I'm with him.
completely
That is
stole my
just
thunder, but
bullshit.
that's all right.
That is fucking crap.
So if you want to jump on board the halftime heroes, but I would like to thank, of course, people that have already jumped on board. The pure plant protein. You gotta love it. Pure. I'm all about the plant. So are you, Spook, and I've just found out. So are you, Commish.
Well,
we're
talking about the stuff here. But what do we got here, Sus? What's actually in that pure plant protein?
Thanks to pure plant protein, we've got Askanish, the finest home and garden maintenance. Top end though. Top end stuff.
You can have Luke actually doing your...
Oh, you
your work.
Yeah, but there is a special offer. I'm happy to do it nude if they want to.
Right.
Up at Dalesford.
That just buggers any credibility.
Hey, I'm happy to go to Dalesford for free. Don't worry about that. Not even charge them.
And drive the aftercare bus.
Yeah, exactly. and drive the... well, speaking of aftercare, I love your segue there. So aftercare, thank you very much for jumping on board.
Thank you.
As far as home and garden maintenance, everything NDIS, and of course aged care as well.
And
Boys, what?
The protein mob.
Oh, you know, yeah, we went
pure.
there. Pure plant protein.
More coming.
More sponsors coming. There are. They're jumping on board.
Going berserk.
Heroes, let's jump straight into what has been round 8 in Division 2. We started off down the road, RJ Rowley Reserve, Bomb Beach, just getting over the top of a in-form ride, would you say?
That's great. Look at the half-time.
Look at the three-quarter time.
Oh, geez, Rye would have been flat. I cannot believe it. I know we've been a bit tough on Bomb Beach, but it actually shocks me that how quickly they've dropped off. I know they've got some injuries and maybe they haven't got the list they had, but God, you're only just getting across Rye. If you looked at the start of the year, we thought Rye might win a game and Bomb Beach top 3.
Yep.
And they're scraping
Top
across
3.
the line.
Absolutely.
Like it's really shocked me.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to make special mention too. I was down watching my daughter play C grade netball. She's a gun netballer, and courts the last couple of minutes of the 19s for Rye. Some very, very good signs coming out of the 19s. Bet on top of the table, Bomb Beach. So they got over the top of them. So
I did see the Rye 19s play a half. I watched Devon's 19s play Rye 19s a couple of weeks ago, just a half, and they were actually very well drilled and moved the ball very impressively. So they do have a big future, which is great.
Yes, absolutely. Coached by Jamie McPherson down there as well. McPherson bricklaying, of course, a very well-known family down south, and also at the D's Den. Also, next game, of course, was Crib Point taking on Pearcedale. Pearcedale shot across the bow. Cribby's up
Cribby
and
CA. Yeah, he's
out.
one that has gone from strength to strength. The only one, probably.
Pearcedale going.
We fixed Jamie up a little.
Yeah, Pearcedale going down by 37 points at Crib Point Recreation Reserve.
It's massive.
Huge. Next game was Hastings and Commish. I believe you have some mail down Hastings, going down to a gallant Edith Vale Aspendale by 58.
Yeah, well, Brendan Dunny has taken over as the interim coach, but I believe that's probably for the rest of the year. I believe he's doing it for nothing. We had a bit of a chat on the phone, and he's a little concerned that they've got some issues down there beyond just footy. So let's hope Hastings can hang on for the rest of this year and be around next year, because there's some concerns, I think.
You got some.
There's some concerns. Yeah.
You don't sound that good.
That they just may not be able to field a team next year.
He's talking about next year.
Yeah, no, I know.
Some dramas next year.
But I mean, look, we're not saying anything that hasn't been already publicised. Administratively, they're not the administrators, but obviously financially, they're not going all that well with what's happened to the Hastings Club, of course, and some other bits and pieces. So we wish Hastings and Dunny all the luck.
And I reckon if clubs like Hastings go under or have nowhere to go, that is straight back on the league. For not considering these other divisions.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's a direct result of not having a home to go to. And be competitive and run a competitive canteen and a competitive organisation. It's straight back on you, league.
No,
I'd straight back on people that don't want to expand the league.
Well, that's the league, isn't it?
Yep.
Well,
or the commission.
The commission
that are now running the league. They need to And what did you say before the show?
There's a little bit in their
the
constitution.
of expanding the game.
There's a dot point that says we'll allow clubs to come in and be part of a future. And if they don't want to do it, get rid of it. So, guys, we're
Correct.
seeing some constitutional trouble all around the land at the moment, is a fair comment. And if you don't have your constitution in what you're saying, get it out.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to do it, take it out.
I think these constitutions are loosely written.
Yeah, no,
And they're a moving feast.
yes.
Who's
to
got
suit.
Who's got the 2024 shaved balls to come up and say and put them on notice and say this clause exists? Who's got the
Molly.
gonads?
Molly.
Well, that for mine, that's the role of this commission that was appointed to consider all these things. And I know it was considered, and I know there wasn't netball on a couple of clubs, and I know all those bloody things.
But I ask you this.
No one within that group.
No.
Yeah?
There's a little.
So no one within that group. So who beyond that can do that?
Who's made up of the commission, please?
The 22 clubs.
Yeah, there was nominations.
And
there's
there's
5 representatives now?
I know, but Neil, they make up the rules and they put forward a proposal, and the 22 clubs have to vote on those proposals.
Correct.
Every time.
It has to get through the commission first.
Yes, and then it goes through 75%. If 75% say yes, you're in. If 26% say no,
Correct.
You're shot.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So, my original question, please: Who makes up the board?
Well, I'm not
I don't
sure.
want
isn't it?
names.
I think it's club presidents.
Correct.
So we know
Full
that,
stop! Exclamation
We
mark.
know that's an issue, but surely AFL Southeast, there must be someone within AFL Southeast who has the overpowering right to say we are going to. I know the answer, but it's
Well, it's a rhetorical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bullshit situation.
It is. Yeah, it is.
So we're just not going to move off the rocks. Not going to move off the bottom. No one's going to shove the boat out because there's no one there to do it.
That's right.
And
Spot on.
it's a direct result of Hastings. Use Hastings as an example.
No, absolutely.
And whoever finishes last haven't they got nowhere to go? They just can't be competitive in the competition.
If 6 clubs don't like what they want, those 6 clubs hold the majority.
When it got knocked on the head last time, when was it put forward to reassess the situation? Is there a process
Next year, 2025.
So right now,
No, it might have been 2. Was it 2 years? It might have been a 2 year.
I think it was 2 years, 2026.
We can't go through another season.
Correct.
Of having teams, there's been some 150s and 160s and some dead set wallopings
There's 3
and
groups.
clubs that are financially in trouble. You cannot keep doing that because they won't be there in another year or two.
100%.
They won't be there.
No, they won't.
So do something about
That's
it. And
the
if you leave
reality
it to
of
there's certain presidents at certain clubs that have put the cob, that have not happening, that are also happy to spend a hell of a lot of money and yet make it not happen. So you're happy to beat up on these lower teams.
Stop.
Oh,
Like,
no,
come
it's all
on.
Good. We're still.
Okay.
I thought I had a dial in.
Because you and your button pressing.
I thought I had a
Stop
dial
fiddling.
in. I thought I had
You know
a
what I mean?
dial
Like, it's very
in.
different. Don't ask the
So-
presidents because they're just going to look after themselves.
So I was led to believe, Luke, that the voting this time round, there was enough love in the room by the other clubs for it to go ahead.
Then what happened?
But the commission thought that certain clubs, because they didn't have netball, would be and all that sort of stuff, would be
Which
bad.
is absurd.
Would be bad for the competition. And that's I could be totally. But
Okay.
from memory,
That's-
I thought we had the numbers from the clubs to support it. Yeah, I think it was like just enough.
If 6 say no, it's.
But I don't think that was the case. I think it went to the commission and they analysed it and thought, well, it's all too hard.
Well, rather
and it
than-
might affect what we're doing. So, no.
This has been going on. This conversation's been going on. I would reckon I sat in a
mate.
meeting 7 or 8 years ago at Devon. Of course, they
100%.
said not a chance. Granbourne aren't coming in. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But the reality, if we keep on asking the same people, you're going to keep on getting the same answer.
Yeah.
We all know
Yeah.
it should happen. So change the constitution so that you're asking different people to
That's
get to the
right.
right result.
Yep.
Because right now we're just going to keep going every 2 years.
Round and
No
around
good.
and
No
around.
good.
No, exactly.
So for
Spot on.
the sake of the comp, and we all know it'd be better,
Yeah.
just do it.
Yep.
Yeah, probably in my eyes, the commission needs to be made up of professional people within the
Spot on.
within the
Absolutely.
not necessarily to do with
Not even in the
football,
sporting
but they're
community.
correct.
Yeah.
they're professional people and they
That's right.
They run a corporate business and that sort of stuff,
Yep.
and they understand how business
Totally
works.
agree.
Because it's a business now.
It is a business now.
Look at some of the crowds we're
And
getting.
you mentioned before we move on, you mentioned about AFL South East. They have drawn a line in the sand. They are paid officiators, so they administer the league. They do not have any say whatsoever over the competition itself. They are paid a fee to administer the league.
So that model probably doesn't work, does it?
No.
Can AFL Victoria come in over the top?
Yep.
Well, fucking do it.
Yeah.
Agree. There must be
You're getting
someone.
paid 150, 200,000 a year to do nothing. Do something constructive.
Mate, 200.
That's one of the-
Whatever. I know. That's what I mean. Puts it like it's just.
Isn't an ex-AFL player as head of the AFL
Head of
Victoria? Jesus, I can't think of his name, but I'll
No,
bring
we'll
it
fact
up.
check. We'll do that in a sec. We'll do that in a sec.
There you go.
We do digress, but we
Yes,
digress.
we've only got...
We do digress because...
Well, it's a worthwhile...
Look, no, and that's what I was
if
about
we don't
to
talk
say.
about it here, we,
someone.
That's right,
that.
exactly right. So that was, if you're just tuning in, that was on the back of Hastings going down to Edithvale by 58 points. The Commish you mentioned, Dunny is going to be...
Yes, he's the interim
good on
for the
him.
rest of the year.
Great
Good,
effort. Great effort.
Such a great guy. He was going to come on. He's also coaching a junior team at Mt Eliza.
Under 11s, wasn't it?
And under 11s at Mt Eliza. So he's got plenty of balls in the air. Yeah, don't.
Not at Mt Eliza, though, is he?
Yeah, well, don't worry about that.
He's everywhere.
So he's busy, but he wants to come on.
Yep.
So it'd be good to have.
Well, we'd love to have him
man in.
on. He's a great
Yeah,
friend.
he'd be a good one to talk about that.
Great friend of the show. Moving right along, please. Coringal hosted TIAB at Coringal Recreation Reserve.
Wow.
Getting the job done by 6 points.
I think Tyab kicked one late to bring it back to within 6 points.
10-16.
26 shots to 20, though.
Yes, 26 shots to 20. TIAB, it's not looking good at the moment.
No, it isn't.
Jimmy, where's...
Well, no, I think Jimmy's third on the goal kicking list. I think he's doing his job.
There he is. He's named in the best.
He kicked 3 yesterday.
Yeah,
He did.
So
He
good
did.
effort.
Very, very
good. Nice to see
interesting.
you doing something, Jimmy.
Andrew kicking the 3.
Yeah. Coringal.
It's a strange one.
Puz
They've got
is back
some.
and makes a
They've got some
difference.
good players in that team. They really have got.
They
some
do.
quality footballers
You know,
in the team. I know.
Spook.
Yeah, I know. They'll coach some of them, and it's just like
Yeah, but look, it must drop off.
clearly.
Must go.
Yep. Yeah,
Top 10.
I just thought that'd be a bit more. I know how long it does take sometimes to get like. They didn't
bottom
really have the
6.
first year. They didn't really have the pre-season, and they've only really had one pre-season. So maybe it's going to take a 2-year build to get them where they need to be. We got a bit ahead of ourselves of how we thought they'd go. Because it's a bit of a shock to see where they're at, to be honest.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Somerville going down to Seaford. 23
hey,
points
Sammy.
at Somerville.
Sammy.
The members box hasn't got a roof left on it.
No, I wouldn't imagine. It probably doesn't exist anymore. It would have been burnt down. And the last game, which was the Halftime Heroes selection table match of the round, Devon hosted Chelsea Football Netball Club, of course.
Whooshka.
Whooshka, the commish. You went out on a limb and said you didn't think they'd get over the board because they're not well coached.
Well, that's what you say off here. You don't say that on. Unlike me, I'll just say how I call it.
I just said
He said it.
last week they're not well coached.
Yeah. Because Spook says they're not.
But nice to see Ty in the Ty Kirkwood in the
Yes,
best.
the boys back. Good on your Ty. That
Hey,
made a difference.
but Luke going nicely, Devon. And when you look at that best on Nick and Joel,
Young Jack. very
Young
good
Jack,
player.
Riley,
Young
Simmons,
Ruckman
and Ty.
It's good mix.
There's a lot of good players in there that weren't named.
Totally.
The best. So the depth is looking.
And weren't even on the track.
Dean Kent didn't play. Paddy Ryder. Dean Kent, Pennant Player of the Year at Settlers Run.
Yeah, good on you, Dave.
Boom. Bang!
But
He's probably out hitting balls.
It credit to Devon, obviously great win,
On
and
one
but
leg.
they've still got
Does that make the
some
reels?
kids. They've got some kids in that team. Bailey Phillips is a young bloke. Jack Wilson's a young bloke. Tyler Hunter, Poss's boy. Ty's still young, so at least they got some youth there. Like we all pot them because they're spending $6 million a year on their players, but at least they've got some kids in
we
there.
all don't.
Well, we all know what's going. We all know what's going on there now.
Every time.
But no, from a positive, they've got kids playing, and that's what they have to do because sustainability says if they just go and win the flag and they're not playing the kids, when they come up to Div 1 next year, they will get completely drilled. So they need to play the kids, get them into the team, and put some time into the youth. Tick off that. Good on you, Devon. Well done.
Okay, so we've been...
I reckon they can win it.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, I would have thought 50
No,
point winning
I
is-
reckon they can go through this year.
if they've just beaten second by 50 points.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you didn't say that before.
No, that's true.
I'm not saying it now.
Oh,
you're just about to.
Interesting.
No, what a great win.
Well, how do you go?
What I would say is I did make the comment 3 weeks ago that last year at about this time, Devon were that far in front, and I did suggest that once everyone plays them and every coach has a good look at them, let's see how they go in the finals. What happened? They failed. So right now they're clearly better than everyone, but that was Chelsea's first look at them.
The magnitude at
53 points.
Yeah, no, that's a lot. But I've been involved with teams that have been beaten by that much, and when you get a good coaching group together, you can go to work on the oppo and it can turn around. So I'm not saying Devon can't win it. Of course they can.
Yep.
But let's just see how they go.
Let's go around a full circle.
Let's go back to the finals, and if they're still beating everyone by 50 come prelim final weekend, I probably will leave Victoria, and that's okay.
35 out of 42 points. Not 35 player points out of 42.
Okay, so I suppose
same as Dramana and Divi 1.
That's great.
That's a look at Devon. We've been talking up Chelsea.
We have.
Where does that leave them, please?
Vulnerable.
Does.
Because it's one of those losses that it's the best part of 9 goals. And we all know how hard it is out of Devon.
It is a tough game.
Yes, but that leaves them a little vulnerable. Chelsea have got who next week? Adam?
We'll get to that.
Question without notice.
We'll get to that. No.
It does...
Chelsea playing maximum points as well.
Yeah,
they got Somerville next week, Commish.
Somebody next week. Well,
that's a W.
Good game of. Well,
mate,
you're just waiting for somebody to come good, but they've got some injury problems.
I've been waiting 4 years.
Vulnerable is probably not the right word, but there's some. You'd have to ask some questions. Now, because they look so good. And Devon without those couple of key pieces, without Ryder and without Kent.
Oh, yeah. That's a big win.
It's a good one.
Huge win. Well, that, boys, rounds out what was round 8 in Division 2 in the MPFNL. Commish, I'll go to you, please, first. Your takeaways for round 8?
Takeaways for round 8 is Cribby. Continue to do the job. I mean, we thought Pierstar were going to be... Didn't we, Luke? We had them in the first 3.
That's another one. That's another one.
Yep.
And Cribby, they're giant slayers.
Yep.
And they've just got the kids, haven't they?
Yep.
We don't know. There's no superstars down at Cribby. They're a good, even team of footballers.
Well coached.
And, obviously really well coached, and it's all coming together from good on you, Cribby.
Bloody oath.
That's my major takeaway.
Very good. I like that. Playing on 32 points too.
Yeah,
so well done to Crib Point. Up the bloody Maggies. Spook, for you, please. Round 8 takeaways.
Yeah, the Devon win. That's a massive win. They stamped themselves as the favourites to win the flag. So carry that burden, all you Devon. Yep.
Stamp.
Stamp it. Well, they have. They've just announced themselves as clearly the best team in the comp. I said we'll see who the best team is.
Exactly.
Clearly, they're right now the best team in the comp.
So if they keep that list together...
No chance. No. They're not. That list is not competing in Div 1.
Could they be...
No.
Could they be better than Mornington?
Well, we found out last year how that went. So let's say you take Langwarren, undefeated, come up, struggled. Mornington won the flag comfortably.
I didn't think so.
Come up, look like going back down. I wouldn't think Devon's team, compared to the Langwarren that come up a couple of years ago or Mornington last year, are at the same level. Clearly, they're not.
So if Devon played Mornington next Saturday, who would win?
Devon.
Mornington.
There you go.
I'd say
So it's a
Devon.
mixed.
Are you on
Sus, here at Mornington.
Yeah.
Devon.
Okay. There you go. So I'm hearing you, but it's an interesting...
The proof's in the pudding. The results would suggest that coming up from, other than Dramana...
Oh, look, 100%. No, the history tells you that it's a fucking...
It's a massive
But then
leap.
look at who left. Like, who's left over those periods when teams have come... Like, Mornington last year, they lost a lot.
Mornington are bereft, aren't they? They've lost Goose and Smarty and
Jacko.
Jacko. Yeah,
Perry Lewis Smith.
Perry Lewis Smith.
Huge.
But in fairness, they've also recruited some players.
Yeah, they have.
One.
Yep.
Credlin.
Oh, BJ.
Kai.
Yeah.
BJ Credlin.
That's it.
Voss not playing.
Yep.
VFL. Yeah.
They haven't covered the losses.
No, but it's a big gap.
Oh, look. Geez,
Sus, your takeaways, please, for round 8 in Division 2.
I suppose it's Pearsdale.
Ew.
Yeah, I saw them as the top one.
Yep.
Is there a chance, I know that things are off-field, it seems to me since the incident,
Yes.
there's been a bit of a... That
stank. Some
it
stank
just seems
around.
like their form dropped off, and that would be hard to deal with internally. You've got a lot going on between all the banter and all those things. So maybe that's been hard to sort of snap out of and play good footy, because that was a pretty brutal incident. And no one touched on it. We don't want to see that happening in either way. So maybe that's just rubbed off on them for a few weeks, because their form early in the year, we're all going, geez, they're going good, and the last month's been quite poor. So it's a long season.
Maybe they've lost a bit of faith in some individuals.
Possibly.
Doesn't take much, does it?
No, it doesn't. Lose a couple of games and lose a bit of confidence.
Yeah.
I don't often like to, well, it's not that I don't like to, but I just don't do the takeaway. But my takeaway is Somerville being on notice. I've been a big fan of Somerville for a long time. And
look what happens when Lee Craig leaves. Look what happens.
Yeah,
It just falls apart. He's done it.
Bloody knew it.
I can't.
Got to be corky yesterday, but not happy.
Going down to Seaford by 23 points at the cauldron that is Somerville Rec Reserve, I can't see anything good coming from them for a period of time.
Well done to Seaford. It's good for them.
Well done to Seaford.
Too many guys not playing really good footy. Sharpie's a big one. And he's playing good footy at Frankston now. Sayonara.
Who said that for 3 weeks in a row?
No, it's huge.
Sharpie out.
Yeah. Oh, mate, have you seen Sharpie play?
Yes, I have.
So he gives you this focal, flies for everything, brings it to ground if you can't mark it.
Nice little leap.
There's no one else doing that there.
Yeah.
No.
There's
So,
a fair few
they've got some rucking issues.
clubs into him late last year too. So
Yes.
I would imagine
Yes, I was actually standing with some of those boys when they were
he
over the
doesn't
fence.
mind shopping himself around, does he?
Well, he wouldn't be earning much at Frankston, would he?
Oh, there's a minimum. You can pay a bit of Franks. A minimum payment.
What would that be? A couple $100?
Maybe $300 minimum VFL payment. I don't know.
Nah.
Anyway.
Yeah, no idea.
No, it is a lot less.
Pittance.
A lot less.
A lot
Bit of
less.
exposure though.
Yep.
Why would you do it?
You play for you're playing the highest level you can.
What,
Or you take your $1,000 in local level.
Exactly.
Easy way.
But
It's up to the individual.
I think it's something
can play,
that
though. He can
the
play.
jungle drums are beating.
Yeah.
Jungle drums.
Yep.
That has been a round 8 in the Division 2 competition for the MPFNL. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with round 9 in Division 2. You're listening to the Halftime Hero.
When your loved ones live alone, it's concerning. So I had no problem changing providers when I saw a better option.
Whether it's helping the aged maintain their independence or providing an approved NDIS package for someone with a disability, a visit from one of Aftercare's qualified personal carers can make all the difference. Aftercare prides itself on tailoring personalised service to the aged and those with disabilities and has done for 21 years. If someone you love could receive better care in their own home, call Aftercare on 1300 464663 or visit after-care.com.au.
Changing was the best thing we ever did.
So let our family help your family.
Are you tired of spending endless hours on property maintenance? Look no further. Introducing Askanish, your premium solution for high-end property maintenance. Our expert team with years of golf course experience specialises in broadacre spraying and large area mowing, ensuring your property maintains its pristine condition. Say goodbye to hassle and say g'day to perfection with Askanish. To find out more, call Rob on 0407 362 328.
Welcome back to Halftime Heroes, the latest on local sport across the Mornington Peninsula.
Welcome back to the Halftime Heroes. It's now time for what is coming up, round 9. Some very interesting games, Commish. Spook.
Yes, mate.
Can you tell the listeners, please, who we've chosen for the selection table?
It was a bit of a tough one this week, but I reckon the best game of Div 2 this week will be the Rye Football Club and the Seaford Footy Club.
Oh,
down the bottom of the ladder, but they've both found a bit of form. And I reckon it'll be a cracking game of footy.
They have. So we will make that our last. So let's just quickly start off with Pearcedale taking on Bomb Beach at the Pearcedale Recreation Reserve. This is going to be a good game as well. Bomb Beach
should bounce.
Sorry?
Should bounce back.
Should.
Oh, they'd have to.
Got to.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
They've got to stay in touch. They've got to stay in touch.
They have to.
Yeah,
We're coming up to the bye. They have to stay in touch here and give Pearcedale.
You're not going to win that flag in Div 2 coming off top 3.
Who would have thought Bomb Beach would be the easy beats?
Exactly.
Geez, they'll be after you. Huh? You've had a fair crack at them the last couple of weeks. Be
Well,
careful
because they've been bloody disappointing.
Do you reckon he's going anywhere near Bomb Beach?
They've got to be fair unloading on them.
People from Mount Eliza don't venture down that way.
That's right. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Bomb Beach.
Got an E-tag, mate.
On your e-bike.
On your e-bike.
Fly past it.
35 kilometres an hour.
Well, let's be honest. They've been disappointing.
Yeah,
they know that themselves. They don't really pot at them, but you're the same.
Yeah, no, I
We've just
agree.
been
Yeah.
so disappointed in
Expectations.
what we've seen.
Yeah, we thought they would have been stronger.
Pearcedale recruiting well. They're on notice as well after their loss in round 8. So it's going to be a good game. Next game, Chelsea taking on Somerville at the Chelsea Recreation Reserve. Chelsea again need to come back and get a W after their disappointing loss as well. And should.
Might have been the loss they needed.
Might have been the loss they needed, and Somerville, it just doesn't look any better for them either. Commish.
Nah, it doesn't. No, it's they've dropped games at home, which they traditionally just wouldn't consider dropping. How many? 3 or 4 at home now?
No, they've only won 3 out of 8.
Yeah, so they're dropping games at home. Woof. So
Last year's grand finalist.
Yeah. Yes.
The loss that Chelsea had on the weekend, if they're as well coached as what we expect them that they're getting coached.
Well, we'd like to ask the coach, but he won't get in touch with us.
But sometimes you need an audit. Clearly they're better than everyone else, and Devon's giving them a real good look at where they need to get better.
Yeah.
So maybe with really good coaching, maybe it's sometimes you don't know how you're going if you're just that far better. So now they've had a real good look of getting smacked off the park. They can go to work on their
Don't mind that from you, Spook.
And they can get everything right going forward.
I like that. Next game is Tyab taking on Crib Point. This was
Come on, Foxy, let's go.
This was a very close second to selection table.
Come on, Jimmy.
Tyab need to raise. They need to raise the bar here.
I'm going to... Tyab will win that.
No, they won't.
Yes, they will. Tyab will win that this week.
Cribby.
At Tyab?
Yep. They'll win that.
At
I love Cribby.
Bungarn Reserve.
They've been up for a while, Cribby.
Cribby will win that easy.
Cribby will.
Who will?
Cribby.
Yeah, me too. So I think Cribby are playing for too much now.
Yeah, you got to remember when you've got a group that's not used to being up there around the finals and you've had some good 3 or 4 weeks, it's very hard to sustain it. You've got a very proud group of some senior footballers that haven't been at their best. I reckon Foxy will have them really ready to go this week.
I reckon Anna's will get the guys up and going. Just friggin' pump them along.
I'll maybe have a little wager on it.
Wager?
Yep. And I'm not having that wager, whatever you
but look, going on form.
I think it's a crack back and sack kind of...
get an excavator.
Cribby have got over Pearcedale by nearly 5 goals. Yeah. So going on form...
Yeah, I agree on form. Yep.
Yeah, you think Pearcedale... 3 weeks ago, I think Pearcedale were better than
backing up
Cribby.
the wax.
So it's...
I agree, yeah. You would think so.
You would think...
But I'll back Foxy and your boy Jimmy and Neil. I'll get the job done.
Okay.
Next game, not getting any better, unfortunately, for Hastings. Hastings hosting the Devon Meadows Football Netball Club. Next game.
200 points.
Yeah.
What percentage are we on there?
Oh,
219.
As we said the other week, Devon have got the advantage now that they've obviously got Kent injured and Ryder, but if there's anyone with a bit, they can really rest blokes at the right times and play some kids, and they're in a great spot now, Devon. They can sit there on top of the ladder and pick and choose when blokes play and get them right. So
if you're in that posse, Spook, and you're coming up to Hastings, would you do that?
Yes.
Potentially. It would depend on...
Oh, you got to be careful.
No, you got 2 weeks. You got the bye the week after.
Correct.
You got 2 weeks.
Don't play him. Just go full noise.
Absolutely.
Go full and have the week off.
Yeah, it would depend on the...
No, you're informed.
2 weeks off, though.
Yeah, it would depend on the...
2 weeks.
For an instance of...
No, play them. I'm saying play everyone.
No, but I'm saying 2 week, like a 2 week break is better than a 1 week.
Depends on who it is.
If you've got some sore bods,
pay for some trips over.
There
to
is
Bali.
no doubt that Dunny's gonna. He will have an immediate.
6 of them over there.
He will have an immediate impact on the Hastings Football Club.
They'll be
there's
more competitive.
no question about that. They'll be more competitive, but there's no way. No way. Next game, Edithvale taking on Coringal at Edithvale Aspendale Regents Park. Edithvale far
just humming
too
along.
easy.
Yeah, going well.
They are.
Just
They're
humming
going
along.
very
Sitting
well.
With the Eagles.
Close.
Third.
I think it'll be close.
They're actually equal top.
I think
They're
it'll be close.
28 premiership points. They're equal top. It's only a percentage. So they're just humming.
Yep.
I think
They're the
it'll be
dark
close.
horses.
There.
Yep.
Well, they've beaten Devon.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. Exactly right. Spot on. And the Halftime Heroes selection table, a match of the round, as Spook mentioned off the top. Seaford hosting Rye at RF Miles Recreation Reserve, a great place to watch football, just straight off the track. And then you've got Seaford RSL, which is a fine establishment just up the road.
Great little
Mate, it is fantastic.
Seaford are going along. Seaford are going along.
They'll be frothing to get down there and
Yep.
play Rye. They'll be absolutely frothing, Seaford. They will beat them with a leg in the air.
Do you think?
Oh, yeah.
I think Rye, from looking at the scores, Rye have improved a fair
They
bit the
have.
last month. I expect it to be a pretty good game of footy. But
Spook, you've had a bit of a look. What do you
they've got
see?
just the young talent that Seaford got. So Brodie Scully's a very good player. Archie Huff, a young fellow, had a bit to do with it. The elite level stuff. He's a good gun little player, Archie. I was trying to get him down the Bombers, but couldn't get hold of him. But he's a great little player. Then some experience in racing. He's 438 years old. He's still going good. Rowan Bleeker, the coach, he's so old, but he can play.
He's a ball magnet.
He's unbelievable. He's still in the best now. Like, God, he could play in the over 55s like
Nuts.
Supers.
Oh, absolutely.
He's a great player.
Dominate.
Scanlon type.
They're going well, and I know we've spoken about it before, but I know PK had just said we're playing kids for the next few years and they're going to stick to it, and it's good to see them progressively improving, so they have sustainability and they will be around the mark for the next 6-7 years because they're doing it the right way, which is great. And then very similar at Rye.
Correct.
Young boys, good 19s program, get them in. Tom Hughes, good player. Kalani Ryan, good player. So I expect it to be a good game of footy. Both will be thinking they should win, though. It's both to be thinking this is a good chance. So it's going to be a good game.
It is. I mean, Seaford's sitting a little bit off the bottom now, but Rye definitely not far behind Hastings, of course. So it is the bottom of the table.
It is,
clash.
but if you go down to Surrey and beat them by 23 points in their home deck, you're up and about.
Yeah, you're going right.
Yeah, training to be good this
Yeah,
week.
bloody oath.
Yeah.
A lot of back slapping. Yeah, well done. Here we go. We're on now. So we've just got to carry it through.
Consolidate.
Yeah, correct.
Each week at a time. Well, that is a wrap for the Division 2 part of the Halftime Heroes. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with Division 1. You're listening to Halftime Heroes.
Not all in-home care is the same. Aftercare has 21 years' experience matching clients to carers. For more personalised help with things like shopping, gardening, domestic chores and personal care. If someone you love could receive better care in their home, why wouldn't you change? Call Aftercare on 1300 464663 or visit after-care.com.au.
So let our family help your family.
Are you tired of spending endless hours on property maintenance? Look no further. Introducing Askanish, your premium solution for high-end property maintenance. Our expert team with years of golf course experience specialises in broadacre spraying and large area mowing, ensuring your property maintains its pristine condition. Say goodbye to hassle and say g'day to perfection with Askanish. To find out more, call Rob on 0407 362 328.
Welcome back to Halftime Heroes, the latest on local sport across the Mornington Peninsula.
Welcome back to the Halftime Heroes. It's now time for the Division 1 contest.
See you, boys.
No, look, it's all going to be very amicable.
I'm out.
I'm just looking at the hats they got on. They've got the Red Legs hat on. And we got
Yeah,
the
Bulls,
he doesn't
Chicago
wear it.
Bulls.
Hey, he doesn't wear it when they fucking lose.
Nah,
Don't take it off very often, do I?
Oh, you'll take it off in the finals.
you don't take it off very often.
What's my favourite hat?
Is
you
it?
got a favourite beanie?
Well, I'm just
Where
supporting.
did you buy that, from the junior merch shop or the senior?
I think I found it on a pile of things. But never mind. We digress in a really, really shitty direction. So let's just
Bring it back.
bring it back.
Sorry, I had to go. Just
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Bring it back. No one,
Just ask the
nothing.
question.
No,
Absolutely.
nothing.
He's due with a new one, by the way. It's a bit fake.
I know.
Yeah,
It's like the
shit out.
Come on,
baggy
Commish.
green.
Sort of money you'll
Can't
float
afford
with.
it.
Can't get it.
Can't-
Oh,
exactly.
turn it up, Commish.
Can't afford it, mate.
Can't
You got
Hats have gone up
you got-
recently.
to make dividends for the shortfalls.
Yeah. Hey, you can buy a
shit.
jumper. It's
Mount
worth about
Eliza has.
300k.
That's been six months in the big house. But don't worry about it.
I'll get you a brush you can wipe off your feet. I think you just stepped in it, mate.
Like I didn't say it. Because I got nothing to say.
Oh, love.
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Number one.
What a round of
canteen.
footy, though, man.
Yeah,
Great
what-
round of footy.
And what an absolute round of footy. And one of the biggest shocks for me might be my takeaway. Now, look, for the Halftime Heroes, firstly, for the hero family, we're going to do a little bit of a different looking sort of coach's corner this week, where you, Commish, and Spook Luke Harris are going to just go into in a little bit more depth into the Frankston Bombers and Mt Eliza game.
Well, it's
round
fresh.
8. It's fresh, exactly
Fresh,
right.
so we can
So,
chat
still
about that.
hurts.
Let's go through...
Of course it does.
Quickly, well, not quickly necessarily, but let's go through what was round 8 in Division 1 in the MPFNL. Dramana, of course, taking on Dramana taking on Mornington, at the Dramana Recreation Reserve. 77 points, if you don't mind.
In the best arts, Fowler, Josh and Billy Gertz, Clayton Gay.
Yes.
It's the red carpet of Division 1 football.
It is, but then they've still got another probably 7 there that could almost have been in there as well.
Sus, did you witness?
Yeah, did you watch those?
I parked behind the goals down at the eastern end, and it was a show. So I can honestly say that Dramana weren't playing at full capacity, and what they were doing was still
it's pretty scary,
still amazing. And Clayton Gay, I saw do really well.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He did some amazing things within 5 metres of the goals.
So was it a bit of piss taking?
No.
When you say not full capacity, you mean not everyone on the park, or they just sort of
It looked like everyone on the
foot
park.
off the pedal?
There was some misplacement of, we'll call it, directions of balls and all that type of stuff. Feeds and all that type of stuff that they could have done better.
Could have been better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was improvement on 77 points.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for some, what's a good way, some luck, it would have been more.
How did the midfield battle? How did a couple of the bigger bodies of the Mornington boys go against the slick, ridiculously skilled handballing superstar midfield of Dramana?
That they were flat-footed.
Yeah. We all are against them.
Exactly.
And you're probably not necessarily, but you just
you're
bloody
not
look
trying
at
to be, unbelievable.
Again, if anyone wants to watch it, it was like watching the Mt Eliza under-16s versus the Mornington under-12s. That's the comparison I'd put it to.
What I love, sorry, Adam,
Yeah.
what I love watching is that I know at Bombers, and Neil knows what I'm like with blokes giving first option by handoff. I think it's really important.
Yeah.
And I love watching Dramana. Mt Eliza was similar yesterday too, but they just honour first give. You very rarely see an Arts or a Fowler or a Quigley get it and go to handball and don't, and turn back in traffic. It is on instinct, give, on instinct, give, on instinct, give, and then they're gone.
Spook,
so good. It's so good to watch.
We had Artsy here saying that nothing.
It's not rehearsed.
It's not rehearsed.
He said they just on the track. His words were they just turn up, which means they just get to every contest in
just keep turning up.
and they have good balance. Once they're there and they win one round ball, that's it.
Outside.
Here's a question: would they beat North Melbourne?
No. I think them at their best could possibly beat a couple of the bottom VFL teams, no question.
Yeah, okay.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. I think Frankston's VFL team over the years wouldn't be as strong as Dramana full tilt.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Dramana versus a Division 1 Eastern footy.
That'd be competitive.
But
the whole top 5, we've played Eastern the last few years. I know they're pracky games. The top 5 in Eastern, the top 5 in MPFNL.
Yep.
They're pretty similar. It's the bottom half of Div 1 MPFNL that would not compete. We'd be in a bit of trouble. But the top 3 or 4 would be really good games of footy. There's a difference in footy though. It's a little bit different Eastern than MPFNL.
It is.
But they are incredible to watch. They really are.
So that's a no to North Melbourne, but you would have them against VFL sides.
Their skill level,
some of the weaker
VFL level, they're unbelievable.
Yeah.
They really are.
So where does this leave Mornington? Precariously placed.
Oh.
Because we had Lee, and one of their mantras is not to get to relegated Division 2 again, but...
So I suppose there was a chain of thought. Their second half was definitely better than their first half.
Yeah, okay.
So, again, that's telling me they listened to instructions and they're going out on the first bounce of the ball to get instructions. So, I don't think some messages are getting through to the players.
Okay.
Again, they haven't got the Jacko up there at the forward line.
That's a big loss.
Yeah,
huge,
massive. Their forward
Great
line
player.
looks so empty. It looks so empty and undominated.
Yeah.
So
such a focal point too. The way he leads Jacko, I hadn't paid a lot of attention to him. I've seen him a lot, obviously different comps, but watching him up north, he leads, presents like really hard at the ball carrier.
He does.
So it really stiffens you up, and then you can get your smalls around it and set up. And then they're probably looking up. The boys are going nothing. Yeah. And then the pressure comes.
And just the confidence. And that's what I meant to say. The confidence level of the forward line is not.
Yeah. And the rebounding ability of Dramana is next, like 3 or 4 levels.
How good's Garn across half-back?
They score from half-back. As soon as it gets in their hands, you're thinking, go.
I remember.
Just who wants to kick it?
Yeah, I remember Matty Garn from Balnearing days, and his build then he has gone through a transformation.
He's a beautiful footballer, that bloke.
And he was really good.
Ripper.
Look, I suppose, Neil, to answer your questions, that they're at the moment they're odds-on favourite to go back down again. That's
It does.
Well, they're
that
sitting
way,
on
doesn't it?
one loss.
Yeah.
One win and a draw on 6 points.
Yep.
And I don't think it's looking.
And sitting bottom of the ladder. So, and they've got an imminent departure coming up.
Yeah, that is not good for him.
Yep. So.
I mean, he's an A grader.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
you've got to replace him with someone that's not.
For the Halftime Heroes family, please. Who are we talking about?
That's Kai Owens.
Kai Owens.
I mean, he's a big recruit, and he's the one bloke that can go mid and forward and really straightens them up. But you take him out of the forward half. So who's playing forward?
Yep.
Timmy's at full forward.
Yep.
And what's happening to him, Sus, please?
He's doing, but he's doing. They're all doing well.
He's a small forward. He's
but he's not going to be available.
He's overseas.
Yeah. He's overseas. Okay.
Yeah, but all the players are doing well. But
They're trying hard.
Yeah,
they're trying their ass off.
Of course they are.
I watched the matchups, and it was number 8 for Dramana. I'm just trying to remember his name. Keogh.
You on it, Spook?
And he was at least
Ryan Morrison.
Ryan Morrison was at
Moz.
least
Mini Moz.
Yeah, he was at least had 20 centimetres on 10.
Yeah, right.
So
But Lee touched on this, didn't he? How many players they lost from that
22
premiership
out
year
of
of
44.
2023.
Yep.
And I think it was at 8.
That goes with what I was saying
he
earlier
lost.
as well.
Yeah.
22 out of 44 players that played in finals.
Yeah, right. Okay, so it's tough.
Sorry, say that again.
Out of their both reserve teams
Yep.
and their senior teams,
Yep.
out of 44 players,
Yep.
they lost 22.
Yeah. So he lost a team.
half. Yep.
He lost a team
That's
of players. So
huge.
it's,
That's huge.
But in
They're
the
in good
positive
hands.
side, all the young ones are coming through, and the young ones are doing the job. It's just their physical builds aren't
Aren't
matching.
where,
Yep.
aren't where they need to be in the Div
They're
1
not doing
contest, let's
anything
be
wrong.
honest.
If anyone can turn them around, it's those two boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
They would have taken
And
a
they
lot of
were-
learnings.
Imagine,
Watching the video.
imagine if they didn't have and Lee and Newey there. Like, it could be a
Spot on.
real handful.
Yeah.
So they got the right two blokes there.
Yeah.
How confident and just calm would Macca be right
Well,
now?
they wouldn't be in Division 1 if they didn't.
He would
Newey
still
like.
be. He's got his
Yeah.
3-year plan.
Yep.
They've got their flag already, so they're just like, no,
Yeah.
we've got our plan. We're right. This is what we're
But you
doing.
got to stay in it.
Exactly. Well,
You
that's
gotta stay in
true
Division
too.
1,
That's true.
so
Well,
it's-
actually, you're right because that's
part of
right
the plan.
now. That's
It's not
part of the plan.
Go ahead.
He's not to be relegated.
Haven't considered that. It's like booking a trip to Europe in 15 years' time and dying of cancer in 13 years' time.
I think, boys, too.
Yeah.
I was remiss to mention too that it was reconciliation round in Division 1 as well for round 8. So that was remiss of me to say that. The next game, the next upset, I should say, Frankston going down to a bouncing, see what I did there? A bouncing,
the Kangas.
the Kangas, the bouncing Lang Warren Football Netball Club at John
Well
Coburn
done, Lang
Oval,
Warren.
stuffed them at their own backyard
That is
by
massive.
plenty.
going down by 51 points.
How long
If you
since we've
don't
seen that
mind,
happen? How long?
No, that's
a
been
while.
a long while.
Since the granny last year, I'd imagine it's probably a similar margin, wouldn't it? 40, 50 points.
Yeah,
No, but on their
by a
home
quality
deck.
effort.
Yeah.
It took a
By a
quality
team.
effort to do it, though.
Yeah,
That's a
exactly
shock. Goons wouldn't be impressed with that.
No.
No, Luca. Obviously, he's a really instrumental to their midfield, but you'd still be flat. One player shouldn't make a 10
no,
difference.
spot on.
The way they set their team up, so they'd be a bit shocked by that. I see. Maybe it's a bit
Might
of
be
give them a
one of those
mulligan for
reset.
1 week. Just give them a
Yeah.
mulligan and they'll be better
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah.
But Lang
They have
Warren,
it at
we've
that-
said it for the last. They are so hard to play against.
Yeah.
They haven't got the results, but
Yeah.
a lot of their games are close. Every coach is talking about how
Macca's-
good their midfield is. They're
Macca
really
said
good
that
around the
too,
ball.
didn't he?
Yeah, they're good around the
Spook?
ball. They really are. So you can't just. There you go. You rock up and they're beating.
Yeah.
second,
It
third best team
just
with 10 goals.
doesn't look like the same YC, though, Luke, does it? Over the last month, they've been
Couple
wobbly.
of injuries. A lot of
It
boys
just
still
doesn't
playing.
look like. Doesn't
Well,
feel like the same YC.
not on the table either, clearly.
In the past, their VFL boys were quite seasoned,
Yeah.
going in and out. I think their VFL boys now are still 21s, 22, so they go to the VFL, then they come back. Back
Yeah.
in the day when they got their VFL boys back and forth, they were mature bodies, could drop in and out of VFL and still impact.
Yeah.
Some of the guys that might come back, it is hard if you play 2 weeks at Box Hill or
just-
Richmond
yeah,
and then you come
it's just
back.
continuity.
So
Brutal.
maybe
Yeah,
they
it's
just had a
just
bit of
for
an
the
off
whole
week.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is hard to manage.
Yeah.
But that's a shock.
Paul last year when
get Goons on.
Yeah, I was going to say
Okay.
when Paul
Yeah.
was in last year, I asked him. I posed the question of is it a luxury? And he said, well, it's actually a hindrance because, Thursday night after training, after team selection,
it's a nightmare.
They're getting phone.
Yeah.
He's getting phone
You're bringing
going,
kids
sorry,
at
I'm
10 o'clock at
VFL.
night.
Exactly
So
right.
sorry
And you've
about
just
that.
told him no, and now you're telling him yes.
it's
Mate,
tricky.
it's not good.
Tricky,
It's not
tricky.
good.
Well done, Lang Warren.
Well done, Langy.
Well done, Langy.
Great stuff.
Absolutely.
Never doubted you.
My mates. Well done.
Just never doubted you. And Beardy, we'll have to get you in real soon as well.
Coach.
Very good coach. He's Joshua Beard. The next game, tell me Pines wouldn't have just loved this down at Dave McFarlane Reserve.
They have gone down with some party pies and some sausage rolls and just gone berserk.
Absolutely
The caviar's
sus.
just gone out the window.
Mate, the
hors d'oeuvres.
Chardonnay, the Pinot Noir has just gone to the bloody toilet.
Yeah, it's a strange result.
Yeah, it's a really strange result.
They played pretty well the week before, Pines. Like we had them, and at times they really had to play against. But I didn't think they'd be able to go and beat Sereno.
No,
and I thought Dylan Clark must be out with injury, but he played.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's a huge win. They've
Yeah.
got full strength, mostly full strength of their stars, Sereno.
That was it.
It's a big win. Well done.
That cast some doubts across the Sorrento.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I might just keep my opinion best friend of myself this week. I don't want to go to it, but
I reckon-
on their day, they're so hard to play against Sereno. They really are.
I reckon Pines, as the weather gets shittier, and when we get to get a crook Saturday, as it gets cold and wet, and Pines might just come straight back into the comp
Yes.
and get far more competitive than what they've been.
They've always been...
That bigger crash bash sort
Exactly.
of footy.
They've always matched up well against Sorrento because Sorrento don't like that. Of years ago, Sorrento weren't that... they're not now. They were years ago, that crash bang kind of style, where now they're going down that finesse where Pines just still go, they still go crash bang and they find it difficult to match up. Find it very, very difficult to match up.
It's a big win.
Big win by the Pines Football Netball Club, of course. And then the next game, also an upset on the top of the hill. You would say an upset after having just Jamie
absolutely
Molo
you're
in,
saying an upset.
the senior coach of Red Hill Football Club, going down to a gallant Rosebud Football Club up on top of the hill when it was minus 18 degrees yesterday
Good
morning.
win, Rosebud.
Massive.
That's a huge win.
That's
Great win.
You give
11
up 5
points.
goals in the first quarter.
Yeah.
5 goals to 2, and you're looking just. But Jamie mentioned last week on the show how good they've been in patches. And they were against. I've watched them. They are good in patches. They just haven't put 4 quarters together. They did that last week. They clearly did. Because they've played well for 4 quarters. And Crocker played. And we did say if they got all their VFL players back, they would be terribly hard to beat. But they just don't get them often.
Ooh, they'd be struggling. They're at 42 points.
Yeah, got to fit them in.
Ben Crocker, 7-point player.
Yeah, 7 points. Yeah.
7.
Yep.
The way the ladder sits, Rosebud are a game out of being in 4th. And they're a game out of snuggling into the middle of the top pack. They've got some momentum now.
Yep.
It's funny too, Spook, you weren't here last week because of the cockfighting, but Jamie Molo mentioned Blake Kuipers, how important he is, named in the best.
And he would be even better when you put Crocker down there next to him.
Exactly.
Too.
100%.
So,
Exactly
Very
right.
hard to defend both those boys. He's a strange matchup, Kuipers. He's big, long, lean, and he gets up on high leads. He's a bit of a handful.
Yeah. Just don't lead in the same spot, and they'll be right. Just separate them.
Yeah. Jamie, he'll go to work on him.
Oh, of course he will.
Mate, absolutely. Absolutely. I said it off air, but has Jonah rocked them a little bit?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's so sad.
And then, Spook, you mentioned, I think that was off air, wasn't it? Or was it on air?
No, it was off air. I just thought with Gresham towed up every team in the first 5 or 6 weeks, and maybe teams are putting a fair bit of time into him now because he was having huge impact around the footy.
Huge impact.
So
And I think
that's a
very, very good point.
They've got one less bloke to worry about now, haven't they?
Well, he
the
was
Oppo,
having
they've got
30s
one less.
6-7 tackles and
Jonah.
bombing goals. He's a very good player.
Yeah.
But maybe every Oppo now is putting all their time into him.
Exactly.
He's not having the impact. Jonah's gone out. It's 2 A graders, and all of a sudden you drop a game you shouldn't have.
Yeah, correct.
And he's, like Jamie, was clearly emotional when he was talking to us about it. That takes its toll as well.
100%. No, it's
100%.
hard to...
When you've got the whole freaking family, Commish, is involved in the Red Hill Football
For sure.
Club.
Look, probably a disappointing result. Not probably. It is a disappointing result given the retirement, John. I thought they might have really come out and fired with...
Yep.
And Rosebud might have just been that...
Yeah.
No one actually saw
absolutely.
it. That much better.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. It happens.
Yeah, I fucking
On
hope
the
that
day.
happens.
Yep.
Yeah, it can turn around quickly. You don't all of a sudden you get a few kicked in your early and
Spot on. And then the last game that rounds out round 8 of the Division 1 in the MPFNL, of course, was the Halftime Heroes
Battle of the Suburbs.
Selection Table match
on
of
top
the
of the hill and
round.
down the bottom of the swampland.
Mount Eliza.
It's cold down there, doesn't it, Luke, in the flats?
Your comments did land well with the Bomber supporters last week.
It's cold in there, though.
The smugness of you coming out
Can't
beautiful.
drive through there quick enough.
And the smell of fuel from that petrol station. Just
All you can smell is fucking caviar and cash when you go up there.
Not so much cash. But, Luke,
I'll take that one. Not much cash.
clearly, I saw you at three-quarter time, and clearly you got a developing group, and they're super young. They got the young body look about them. But when you got the ball on your terms, they moved it really well.
Yeah, at times.
But you're coming up against I'm not going to call them a seasoned Mt Eliza, but they're getting there with the seasoning is still being sprinkled on top.
For sure.
But they were slick as usual with that. And you made the comment off air about their Seth made the comment they're much harder around the ball than what they used to be.
It was very hard around
so
the footy.
they're now Ricky's sort of given them that harder edge.
Yeah, totally.
And
Would you
after the
say
loss
they're
to
better
YC
coached? Better coached?
Well, I was going to say, I said to Neil off air, it's finally good to see a Mt Eliza team coach, probably because Brad's done a shit job the last few years. But they play the brand they've played.
Drive-by.
No, everyone, not just me, everyone always felt Mt Eliza have had so much talent the last few years. But they played an under-19s brand of footy.
Correct.
They played a nice brand. They got it on the outside.
Not used to losing, Luke.
And they're not used to losing. So every team went after them physically, and then they sort of fell away.
Absolutely.
But what I was impressed with was that the first 10 minutes of this game, it was hot.
Yeah.
And it was our boys around the middle that wilted first.
Yeah.
Not Mt Eliza.
Yeah.
They stood up. We didn't. They physically stood up at the contest, started to get the ball to the outside, and once they did that, they put a hole in us. So for our young group, need to go to work. Mt Eliza taught them a lesson around the ball. And they got the game on their terms. And if you give Mt Eliza the game on their terms for any part of a quarter, their kicking they're the best kicking team in the comp by comfortably. I don't know what the stats would say. Yeah. So you just can't give them the ball in hand with time and space.
Those 45-metre hit-up kicks are hard to stop, aren't they? They're coming in from the half-back line to the half-forward line within
They keep
2 or
the
3
forward line
seconds.
beautifully open.
They do.
The high half forwards get really high. They hit them up, and then they turn around and wheel and go, and they hit more targets.
Yeah.
So
good luck to them. Just on the note we're talking about, your backs were directed to play back shoulder, were they? Or it seemed like there was a lot of space there.
There was a lot of space.
Yeah,
lots of space. It tends to happen though when you lose the footy, you lose the contest.
Comes out quick.
And you're chasing tail, he comes out quick. It looks like your backs aren't really up tight enough.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get half a step with those blokes kicking it to you. It's just
off balance. If you get off balance.
How many times did they grass a kick? Don't remember.
No.
Let's lace it.
No.
So Ricky's got them playing good footy. Hats off to them. I've given Mt Eliza a hard time, but they're a good footy team, and they're clearly the second best team in the competition. And if they go to work, and maybe they can compete with Dramana on the big dance. I don't think they're there yet. To be honest, I think they're clearly better than YC.
Yeah, I think so. I think the brand of footy they're playing now is...
Yep, and they're a bit harder now, and the ruckman's massive for him. He's a very good ruckman.
Yeah.
Plays like a...
And innocuous.
He's good.
He's an innocuous guy,
great.
gets around the ground, pops up everywhere.
I saw him after the game, and I said, great game. He had a huge influence, because I think...
A man of very few words, by the way.
He's a quiet guy.
So Finn Bain, Tom Small, Mitch Smith, Elliot Simmons and Westy and the best. Lockie Williams probably unlucky not to be named in there with that fresh perm of his.
Yeah, he looked great. Lockie played wing and forward.
And went forward, pressed really hard forward, kicked a couple of goals in the third quarter.
Young Owen looked good up forward.
Yeah.
They're going well.
Yeah.
Spook, would you say that...
And Skaggs went off injured.
Yes, I
Skaggs went off injured.
Phillips did his ankle kick forward half time. So they could have won by a bit more, to be honest. We had a couple of patches, and Ziggy will come in. I mean, we were missing our Khan and Alex. So you put Alex in there and Khan at centre forward, then big tough Anthony does a bit of a harder time than what he did throwing his weight around. So we'll see when come back around, and I'll go to work on him. We'll see how we go next time. I would expect next time we play him, if I get a full list, we'll be a hell of a lot fucking closer.
When do we play again? Must be round 16 of them.
I will address it that week.
So don't worry about it. Don't look at it now.
No, I won't.
But I would. It's good sometimes with the young group. It's good you get a couple of hidings. You go to work on. It gave us a really good order of what we're not good at. Our ability we collapsed in around the footy too often. And we sort of said, boys, we've got to hold our width. But their pressure's so good, we all get drawn in. And who's on the outside? There's the Mt Eliza boys, one handball, and see you later. So I'll show them some footage, and we'll get better.
What's the average age of your footy team now, you reckon? How many kids in there? How many 19, 20-year-olds in
I think we had 10 or 11 under 20.
Yeah, right. Okay, there you go.
Spook, would without putting them in the Dramana category, would you say that Mt Eliza's potentially the start of something?
Oh, totally.
Yep.
Totally. Well, Ricky's gone there with that abundance of talent, and he's hardened them up around the ball. He's got them playing some really good footy, and I'm sure he's still got plenty. He would only be adding what he needed to now.
Correct.
He hasn't added all the
For a
layers to
quick-
them, so
that's right.
he's only had one pre-season with them. Give him 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I think they're
it's-
going to be a real handful.
Look, I think it's noticeable yesterday. They use the hit-up short kick good, don't they? So they've got gears now.
Yeah.
So they can sort of go back to first and second when they have to, and just then they can slip back into third, fourth, and fifth. But it's
You actually fucking sounded intelligent there.
but it was they'd use the short hit-up really well. Really well, when they have to.
Yeah,
They won't just go down the line.
Yeah,
They might go short, get it out of danger, get down the line,
Yeah.
get a stop. You know, it's AFL.
Very
So it's-
hard-working bunch of players.
Yeah, they are.
work
They
hard.
are. Yeah,
They work very hard.
They're very fit.
Yeah, they're fit as.
Yeah.
They
And
probably-
you mentioned the under-19 team. The
reserves run out. They look like a senior team.
Yeah,
Bunch of
they're fit as Melly Bulls. Yeah, they're all
a couple of
pressing
our
it.
twos boys run out there and had 6 cans of dart before they go, I reckon.
I'm sure they didn't.
Yeah, But well done, Mt Eliza. I saw
done,
Cass
Mt Eliza.
before the game. And
Yes,
said,
you
well,
did.
yeah.
We
And,
did actually receive a photo.
Yeah, we'll get that on the socials.
We
So
might
well done,
put
Cass.
that on the
Good day.
socials.
Well done,
And
good
that
day.
was an actual hug that
Yeah,
Spook
okay.
received from
real life one.
from Cass.
I mean, we've got a lot of tired people down there too. A lot of tired administrators through what's going on through the junior situation. And
So when you want to bring it up, it's okay to bring it up.
well, it's okay. So
It's okay now.
Bit of a drag.
It's leaked down to the senior club, you know, and it always had to at some stage, but we still can't say anymore because it's still under investigation. But it's there's a lot. I haven't seen as many exhausted faces that I had after the game yesterday. After I was in there for an hour or so after the game.
The boys did that what they needed to do on the field, that's for sure. They won and played well.
absolutely.
And they held up.
Yeah, correct.
Exactly.
That's all they can do.
Exactly.
And they're not affected
No,
by it. They've
no,
not
at all.
Some of them probably
But-
don't even know about it. Look, but it's an administration bloody nightmare down there now. So
Oh, absolutely. And look, let's be honest. For the Mt Eliza Junior Football Club, there's no one there that it matters because they're all overseas.
yeah, well, I wish some of them were.
Well, that does round out what has been round 8. Sus, I'll throw to you first, please, under the bus. Your takeaways for round 8, please, in Division 1.
I'll just do a bit of a comparison. I suppose Frankston lost to Dramana by 67 and Mornington lost to Dramana by 71. So I'm just doing my data check. I love my data. So, look, I probably gave a bit of a drive-by to Mornington, but let them hang in there, guys. So fight the fight, and we'll see how we go. But Dramana, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
That good.
Yeah, and weren't on the money, as
Yep.
in weren't playing full potential.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, watch Clayton Gay's goal. Probably about the 12-minute mark of the second quarter.
He can take a hanger and keep going, can't he?
Well, he didn't.
Fun to watch.
hanger.
It's fun.
The FA
great
Cup was
footy.
on last night,
Right.
and this was on par with the FA Cup.
Wasn't a scissor job, was it?
No, it was just in the goal square. Nice
okay.
little volley.
Nice.
Oh.
Good on him.
Spook, your takeaways, please, for round 8.
Probably a couple. I think the Lang Warren win is huge. Like
Huge.
10. Like, it's a big win against
Huge.
YC. Yeah,
Huge.
that was my takeaway. And
Yep.
obviously the Dramana, that they're just going to keep going, getting better and better. They
Yep.
announced themselves as clearly the best, and yeah, that was those two.
What about you, Commissioner?
Well, there was 3 turnos. There was Langy, Pines, and Rosebud,
Yes.
wasn't there? So there's
Yep.
3 sort of takeaways.
Yep.
Pines is good.
Yeah, that was Pines is enormous.
Yeah,
win
it's
down there.
huge.
Is there a 9-round rush to make the 5th spot?
Oh.
I mean, there's 3 teams now that can make.
100%. It's
Yeah.
way open. There's a clear couple at the top, and after that, she's on.
Yeah.
She is on right down to about probably 8th now, or beyond that. So I think Frankston, Luke, would you think they're very young, aren't they? I mean, it's a finals game would be great for experience, but it's probably hard to see it this year.
Yeah, no, we're not. I'm not concerned with.
Playing
My
finals
thoughts
football.
aren't. My
Yeah.
thoughts aren't September. My thoughts are week to week and
Exactly.
get the
Yeah.
improvement.
Okay,
we can
so
keep on building wherever we
that's
get
fair.
to.
I
But
dare say
doesn't
there's-
mean if we happen to get on a roll and
Correct.
made it, we'd love it. But
Correct.
we're not.
Yeah.
And it sounds cliche.
You don't put
but
the
it's
kill in the
not.
rack, but it's
Not
no,
at all.
no,
We just want to keep each week try and win games of footy and improve the kids and what will be will be. But there's a clear the top one. Then there's a clear top 2, and then I think it's YC.
Yeah.
Then there's a gap between 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
Oh, YC.
And now YC have got the,
YC.
they're just hanging on to that mantra, aren't they? Just hanging on to that little
give them
spot.
one day.
They're on the podium still, but they're just tipping off the edge a bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. We had Lee McQuillan Macra, of course, in a couple of weeks ago for the Halftime Hero family that didn't know, and he said Dramana clear standouts, and then you've got Mt Eliza, YC, and then everyone else.
Yeah.
So,
We're just so used to saying YC, aren't we? It just slips out without even looking at the results. And shit, they're going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not this year.
Maybe not. Maybe not. That rounds out round 8, of course. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more Halftime Heroes.
When your loved ones live alone, it's concerning. So I had no problem changing providers when I saw a better option.
Whether it's helping the aged maintain their independence or providing an approved NDIS package for someone with a disability, a visit from one of Aftercare's qualified personal carers can make all the difference. Aftercare prides itself on tailoring personalised service to the aged and those with disabilities and has done for 21 years. If someone you love could receive better care in their own home, call Aftercare on 1300 464663 or visit after-care.com.au.
Changing was the best thing we ever did.
So let our family help your family.
Are you tired of spending endless hours on property maintenance? Look no further. Introducing Askanish, your premium solution for high-end property maintenance. Our expert team with years of golf course experience specialises in broadacre spraying and large area mowing, ensuring your property maintains its pristine condition. Say goodbye to hassle and say g'day to perfection with Askanish. To find out more, call Rob on 0407 362 328.
Welcome back to Halftime Heroes, the latest on local sport across the Mornington Peninsula.
Welcome back to the Halftime Heroes in Division 1 part of the show. It's now round 9. We're going into, of course, the 1st of June. And to take the lead is Langwarren taking on Dramana at Lloyd Park. It was probably not looking as good, but is it looking a little bit better now?
Langwarren, they've been competitive with most teams. They'll fancy themselves to be in
They'll have a bunch of stuff they want to try it against Dramana.
I reckon they will.
Won't they? They'll have a bunch of little things we'll try against Dramana. Free hit.
Yeah.
Time.
Their midfield battle's interesting because Langwarren have been really good around the ball and they're coming up against the best midfield. So if they can stand up around the footy a little bit, maybe there'll be a chance. But on if it's dry on that big, beautiful deck, good luck.
Yeah.
Imagine they
Bloody good midfield, though, Lang, haven't they?
They are strong.
Yeah, they're a strong midfield.
Mulvogue's very good. Andrew Arthur's very good.
Good, strong bodies.
Got another couple of boys to go. They're good around the ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good balance.
Next game, Spook, your boys taking on Sorrento, the Sharks.
Can't wait to go and see those boys. Big day. I think it's past Players' Day this week. I think maybe a Bombers should be a big day.
At Baxter Park.
Yeah. So, we've got a couple of injuries. It might be... we'll just go to work on them and try and see what they've done well and improve from last week. Should be a good...
Any coming back?
Not likely.
Yeah, okay. It's all right. Just keep
working. You only play who you can play. Opportunities for the young boys. That's what it's about.
100%.
Yep. We'll be right.
Next,
Can't wait to see Lee.
Yeah.
Next game, of course, is Mornington taking on Red Hill at Alexandra Park. It's looking good too there, Sus. It's coming along.
Nearly. There's end of June.
End of June.
First event is booked there for the end of June.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
So they're ready to fire.
That's great.
You would think Red Hill's form would suggest they would win, but you've got to go to your ground that you train on and play on and go to Mornington. That is a vastly different game of footy.
Yep.
You know, like that is a different game. I think Mornington could win that.
They could.
I think they have to.
Mornington have to win it.
They
would show themselves that's a winnable.
They'll go to work. I reckon Macca will spend 600 hours this week going to work.
And what do you reckon Red Hill's thinking? If we drop another one,
true,
we're probably out of the race.
True, I know that'd be the same, but you drop another one here, Mornington, and a couple of teams around you get another win on you.
Exactly, it's not
big game. Big game for them. I think they'll win.
Huge.
Hard to pick a winner.
At Mornington, I think they'll win. If it was at Red Hill, I don't think it'd be Red Hill by 5-6
Red Hill's a big ground. It's very big, very.
It's a different. That's a different thing.
Different.
I'm just trying to put the seeder down in the.
No. If you're training on Red Hill's ground, that's where you play, and you've got to go to Mornington. That is such a different game of footy. It's going to take you a quarter and a half to get used to the ground.
Yeah, but there again, look at the size of Mt Eliza's ground. Same as Red Hill, really, isn't it? And they went down and poleaxed Mornington at Mornington didn't seem to affect. It's almost suited them.
Look at Sorrento.
It almost suited Mt Eliza's quick handball game.
Look at Sorrento. Sorrento went down there.
Yeah.
So
That's a tough selection.
I'll back in Newey and Lee to get that.
yes, I'm going to back him.
Timmy will
Yeah,
kick-
Red
Timmy
Hill
will
for
kick
mine. I
six from the goal
think
square.
Jamie's way too good a
Yeah, me
coach
too.
to lose a couple of that.
I tend to agree with that.
And I know he's coaching against a couple of good ones, so it'll be interesting.
We spoke about Mt Eliza being tougher around the ball. This is going to test them against Pines at Eric Bell Reserve.
The doctor's just giving out free Pines-itis needles at.
I think they'll be all right. I think the edge that you were talking about before, Luke, will hold them in good stead against Pines, and they'll just run them off their feet. Mm-hmm. And they'll be good at the contest as well.
At Eric Bell with a new stadium.
Absolutely.
Pavilion being launched, hopefully. I think they've got
Fingers
their
crossed.
certificate of
But mind you, it's
competency.
If Gabriel
It's one of those
was,
ones.
if Russ was playing in the ruck,
watch Savage. Just got to watch Savage.
yeah.
Couple of-
Hayden's a good
couple
player
of
too.
diamonds.
They're good
Yeah,
players.
yeah,
Hayden's
yeah.
a good player. Savage, Richards down back.
Yeah.
Good player. Young Gat in the half back. They got
Yeah,
some players.
shit. It's
Guy Hendry took 50,000 marks against us.
Bit of a dive, I hear.
Where?
Mr. Hendry.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was nice.
Did he miss him?
Jared gave him a little kiss on the forehead, and he looked at him like shot in the back of the head. He took a big dive, but that was quite funny.
Jared's got to
Jared-
watch those. Jared's got to watch those.
Yeah, he's just saying hello to blokes. It's all right.
Yeah, he wants to watch the
like
one.
the assassination
The
of
camera
Bobby
wasn't on him.
Kennedy.
What's that, Sus?
That was nearly like the assassination of Bobby Kennedy.
Yeah, it was. Absolutely. Yeah.
And the halftime heroes selection table match of the round, we've chosen Rosebud hosting Frankston YCW on notice at Olympic Park. It always... There's going to be 2,000 plus people down there for this game. There always is a huge game, of course, Rosebud at Olympic Park. It's going to be interesting, Commish.
Rosebud for mine.
Oh,
Down there.
Especially if...
Good team. Good footy team on their home
number
deck.
53's playing. Wow.
yes.
Yeah, it's a good... If Luca plays, if Luca's a...
That's the... We don't know, do we?
Yeah, but
we're
if
only
Lu-
basing it off...
So Cahill, Blake Mullane, Luca, Lambie, Petullo up forward, Rolly Darcy. From all reports, Hartung's found some form for once. He's taken 2 years to get a kick in this comp. Well done. Carousella, Nance Cowan, Liam Tidd, very underrated player. They've got Crocker and Kuipers up forward. So even the forward lines are really strong.
Yep.
Midfield battle's super important.
Yep.
Generally, YC's defence is so good that gets them, but they're probably not quite the same defence as a few of them left. So...
Good opportunity for Rosebud. It's an opportunity that they won't miss.
They
I
will
reckon.
think they're a real good show.
Yep.
I wouldn't think YC will come off a 40-point loss and lose again, though.
And YC haven't met Kirk Dixon yet either.
Good player.
The very
Your boy,
good...
Dicko.
Dicko, the young boy from...
Yeah. Good game, isn't it? Yep.
From
Oh,
Cranny.
it's a
So
good game. It's really-
they're going to meet him as well.
Yeah, he's
And important.
Yes.
Rosebud can just keep nudging up and YC can just keep slipping down.
The YC will... how long since YC's lost 2 in a row?
Wow.
And a bad loss.
Just
So
haven't got the same feel about them, the same look
a
about
couple of names on that list. Obviously, had some injuries. I look through the name. I'm not going to say them because they'll probably think I'm potting them. But there's a couple of names on there that don't normally play senior footy.
Correct.
So if they get a couple back...
Yep.
Might be looking a little
One to
bit
watch.
better.
One to watch.
One to watch, absolutely. Well, that rounds out round 9 in Division 1 in the MPFNL. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with the wrap with Spooks Soapbox, not Suss's Pellets. Not necessarily in that order. You are listening to the Halftime Heroes.
Not all in-home care is the same. Aftercare has 21 years' experience matching clients to carers. For more personalised help with things like shopping, gardening, domestic chores and personal care. If someone you love could receive better care in their home, why wouldn't you change? Call Aftercare on 1300 464663 or visit after-care.com.au.
So let our family help your family.
Are you tired of spending endless hours on property maintenance? Look no further. Introducing Askanish, your premium solution for high-end property maintenance. Our expert team with years of golf course experience specialises in broadacre spraying and large area mowing, ensuring your property maintains its pristine condition. Say goodbye to hassle and say g'day to perfection with Askanish. To find out more, call Rob on 0407 362 328.
Welcome back to Halftime Heroes, the latest on local sport across the Mornington Peninsula.
Welcome back to the Halftime Heroes. It's now time for Spooks Soapbox.
What? No. What
Pew,
happened
pew,
here?
pew, 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 pew.
No, you're off, mate.
On the freaking
Yeah, it's
pellets.
okay.
No pellets?
No, we're not even
Friggin' hell.
visiting the pallet situation.
No, I've received a phone call from
No.
Fair Work Australia and
We're going to get up on bullying charges,
bullying?
evidently.
bullying.
That was our most hit freaking
Yeah,
body.
don't worry about it.
That's because we called it Spooks. It's because we called it Sus's Pellets, not because of the content.
So what are you saying?
Yeah, I thought you did a good job, Sus.
Yeah, good on you.
I've been trying. I don't really want to go too angry or frustrated because, as Neil mentioned, I would like to give myself a pat on the back. I'm trying to stay calmer and be more happy.
Yes,
in
very
things.
calm on the sidelines.
Thanks,
yeah,
Neil. I
very
appreciate
good,
that. I thought
very
I'd be in my
good.
best behaviour for the Mount Eliza people to
Very
say sorry.
nicely.
Yeah,
Mouth
done.
guard? Have a mouth guard.
No,
As if you
but-
need a mouth guard, go to Mount Eliza. Come on. Pines. I rock up with a couple of bazookas and a couple of helmets, but different story.
You be packing.
But no, we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, and again, we don't want to go over the whole umpire thing. This isn't about the individuals, but
However,
I've had numerous conversations with you guys and some other coaches and players, and I don't think the umpiring has ever been at a worse position since I've been involved with footy. And it's not necessarily that it's causing, like, yes, they will get beaten by 8 goals, and there's things happening that were frustrating, but it didn't matter because it's like every umpire and every coach's box things are going against them. But the reality is when it's that poor, that incites, 1, the players, 2, the coaches' boxes, 3, the crowd. The better the game's umpired, the better the crowd and the energy. Everything will stay in check, no drama. Please, AFL Southeast, AFL Victoria, I don't know how much money you spend on your department, but take some money out of your own funds and put it into coaching the umpires to give them more opportunity to be the best they can be. Because we try to do our best at Clubland to get our players to be the best they can be. We sit with them in individual edits and coach them and get them to be better. I don't see any improvement from one umpire once this year. So whatever they're trying isn't working. And the individuals are just trying to do their best. I get it. I'm not having a go at them, but give them more ammunition to be better.
I think the
rules
numbers are up, too, aren't they?
the numbers are up.
I think the umpiring's a disgrace. I really do. And it's not having any effect on a game. I'm worried about the crowd involvement, like the issues we have with crowd and garbage, because when it's not going good on the field, it causes the bullshit.
It's like the umpires don't understand the holding the ball rule.
At AFL as well. It's so frustrating.
It's like, what is holding the ball these days?
I think
there's no incorrect disposal. Is that right?
Throw it now.
The interpretation, I think, between players, coaches, and umpires across those 3 levels is completely different.
Jared Hill is banging on about the AFL. I'm glad he's on it because whatever he says, Jared Waitley, whatever he says goes in the AFL. But that rule is so frustrating for players.
Yeah.
Like, Mt Eliza laid a couple of tackles yesterday, cold, holding the ball against Frankston Bombers. No, play on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, that should have been a free kick.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm saying it against it, it's like, what are you doing, boys?
Correct. The players lose faith in.
Well, then
what's
they
going on.
start cracking at the umpire, the crowd, and all of a sudden you've got blokes fighting.
The umpires are really
quick.
quick to issue a dangerous tackle, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Really quick.
Yes.
But they let a bloke do 4 spins in a tackle before he gets rid of it. Well, it's just like, anyway, that's I don't mean to pot him. And I want the umpires to do a good job because it makes it all calmer.
Correct.
We want good umpires.
Yep.
We don't want to be having a go
The
at
final
Spook-
series umpires.
Spook, we
please
have
put some
had
time into 'em.
we have had someone from Southern Umpires Association reach out and a couple of weeks ago and say that they're happy to come on to discuss exactly what you're talking about. They have really, really strong numbers at the moment, but unfortunately the age.
They are young, aren't they?
So it's pocket money.
There's an age.
That's the issue. It's just
there's an
pocket money for
age
them.
gap, and there's not your senior umpires like what we've seen in the last sort of 4 to 5 years.
The intent of what they're umpiring for. So,
But that was a good one, Luke.
Yeah. And I almost thought to myself, I wouldn't mind because I generally have a crack at them. Maybe I'll go and umpire a game because it's actually not that hard.
Yeah.
Like, when you umpire training and you cheat on purpose for one team,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to get the ball going,
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
abused. I'm like, I actually like it, so I'd probably do a good job.
Yeah.
but it's really not that hard. I don't
Yeah.
think it's that hard.
No.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, the heat of the battle, maybe it's a bit hard to umpire, but it's not good enough for the level
Well,
of...
it's not having an understanding of where the game's at and the game.
that's where the issue is. So I don't think there's no issues with the umpires, but again, the umpires have been given a set of rules.
Yeah.
Yep. The players have been given a set of rules. If you overlay them across each other, I don't think they matter.
It's not the same.
They
Well,
won't
that doesn't
matter.
fucking make any sense, does it?
But it's all levels. Eh? Look at the Collingwood situation the other night.
That's a great call.
I mean,
Come on.
That was the best
Best call ever, Sass. Hey!
It'd become nearly unwatchable if they keep going like that. That's nearly because no one understands what's going on.
Exactly right.
The AFL footy's never been better, I reckon. We could all watch all the games and it's great to watch, and then everyone's like, how bad's the umpiring? But well, they've only got to get that 10% better and be the best standard of footy we've ever watched. It's so good. Just get it right, boys.
That's right. Get it right. So we
You're on
might.
notice.
That's not a bad idea. If
We
can get
might take up that offer
Sus will
for
be happy.
getting
If
someone
they
in Southern Umpires
will now.
Association to
Just make
come
sure it's
on.
no
Yeah,
one
for sure. No, great. It's a really
Maybe.
important part of the game.
Maybe.
You got to check with Sus to make sure they haven't kicked him out of a comp or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, that's right. Maybe we could do the review. We can get someone on from SUA during the review show after the bye.
Yeah,
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Ask them a couple of real questions about specific rules that we think they're getting really wrong at the moment.
And if there's anyone who wants to ask anything, send it in.
Absolutely.
We'll ask on your behalf.
No,
Any
that is-
frustrated
I like that.
punters?
I like
any
that a lot.
frustrated punters?
No, I like that a lot.
Hey, I've got a better idea. Can we get Rowan in with his zinc?
And do the holding the ball.
Yep. Show us on camera with your zinc in 3-degree weather.
Holding the ball.
ball.
It is thing of beauty.
I love
It's like
Rowan.
at a Swan Lake.
He's my favourite, Rowan.
Swan Lake.
Jeez, he's got some fear to the boy.
Loves it. Loves
He
it.
said
But probably on the whole, he's one of the better umpires. On the whole.
I personally believe he's one of the better.
He's one of the better to watch. There's no doubt. Well done, Rowan.
Always comes in for a bloody drink after the
Yeah,
game.
with his zinc still on.
Exactly. And it's dark. Well, that's a wrap from the Halftime Heroes. What has been a fantastic episode reviewing round 8 and the upcoming round 9. Thank you to you, Commish.
Once again, fun.
Well done, Commish.
Fun. Thanks to you, Spook.
Thank you, Adam. Well done to you.
And Sus, well done. Thanks you.
Thanks, Chief.
Great work, Sus.
Absolutely. That is a wrap from the Halftime Heroes. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. We'll see you and speak to you next week. You've been listening to the Halftime Heroes. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.